Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Film Club podcast, where every month we deep dive into a different aspect of cinema, directors, genres, actors, or franchises. It doesn't matter, because it's always fun at the Film Club. I'm Dean.
I'm Becky.
And this month we are continuing the series, the saga of Twilight.
That's right.
And this week we are going to be talking about
Dean's Hero. We're talking about New Moon. So Team Jacob all the way.
Team Jacob all the way, because I'm be real, Jacob is the only one here that isn't a creepy ancient vampire that is stalking a teenage girl. But
he has so much to learn.
Oh, God.
It's going to be great.
But we have a guest for this who's going to be guesting on, as far as we know, like all of these episodes. I think, maybe.
I hope so.
All right.
So get used to me.
All right. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, it's Yasmin, cousin of the podcast. Back again.
Yes.
That's right. She's finally back.
When these get released, it'll be a seamless thing. Like, we haven't recorded these episodes months in apart.
Yeah.
It's tragic, honestly. I wish I could just see you both every single day of my life, but...
You got a family.
You know,
kids, a husband, you know.
got shit to do.
Yeah.
Like read Midnight Sun. Yeah.
I will be doing that.
That's going to be happening. But yeah, we're going to be talking about Twilight Saga New Moon. We have not only a new moon, we have a new director. This comes out like the year after Twilight, right? This is a super quick turnaround.
It was greenlit the day after the movie dropped in the theater.
It was that quick?
It was that quick. They
God.
made that much money.
God damn.
We were there.
The power of teenage girl marketing, my word. But, yeah, I guess that's something I'm curious about, because I guess the whole premise of this month is I have no idea what the fuck these movies or books are really about, and you know everything.
Come on, Dean.
The way you said that scared me.
We know the truth. We know that, like, you're the greatest Twilight stan.
Oh,
He's
Lord.
a twihard.
No,
Twihard.
I am not a twihard. We'll see at the end of this series. But
He's one in the making.
Lord,
Have you seen all the movies?
No. The only one I have ever seen in full was the first one for this podcast like 3 years ago.
And that was our
Oh my God.
almost first
So New Moon
episode.
was was a new watch for you.
100%.
Oh my God.
I'm
So
not
wait,
joking.
But you're Team Jacob, but like
from the first movie, yes.
from the first movie.
100%.
So
Edward's
New Moon
creepy.
was just. I mean, obviously,
It was
New Moon
gravy
just
to him.
cemented that. Yeah, he was like, "Oh yeah, there's my man Jake, like coming through."
Yes, basically. Well, because here's the thing. The premise of I guess to recapping the first movie, the premise of Twilight to me, and again, I have not read any of the books. I have no planning to read any of these books. But from the first movie, I'm like, okay, Edward is this like immortal vampire who I guess is like 80-something, 90-something in context of the world. 109 in context of the world. Thank you.
I
And
rewatched that again this morning.
Spitting straight facts.
And he
I'm
is
here.
like, and he is like creeping on this 17-year-old high school girl.
He's not creeping on her. If anyone, she's creeping on him.
Okay, I'm gonna put this like this. Only one of them is appearing in her bedroom when watching her sleep. Okay, I'm be real with you.
You would do that too if you could climb.
Yeah. Becky's over here throwing a lot of shade, but to me, I'm like, Edward's kind of creepy. You could really twist this to be a Predator story or like a stalker horror film,
But
real easy.
That's the point, I think, is that like, right, vampires are typically evil. They're typically, right, blood-sucking, but here's like a good vampire he's resisting his,
His
deep,
urge because
that's
he
the
wants that
romance.
pussy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which is a thing
Why
that I
does
find
it
an
always
issue.
go to that?
Because that
Okay.
is what Edward's looking
minute,
for.
one
all
minute.
right?
He's not completely wrong. Beans is not completely wrong. He's
I'm
onto
checking the count.
something.
8 minutes. Took 8 minutes for you to demean me by calling me Beans.
But I'm agreeing with you.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I think that part of that, like the romantic, like edge to this, the excitement around it is that, right? And it's the same, like vampires are, that the blood sucking is kind of a metaphor for like sexual desire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and like we're getting this from, again, Stephanie Meyer, a Mormon writer. Okay. She knows
Yeah.
a little bit about like, inhibition, maybe.
I don't. Okay, so I haven't gone to church, so I don't know what. Are you throwing shade at the Mormons?
I mean,
You don't really have to go to church. Just you have Google.
Come at me, Mormons. Like, I mean, if you want to talk, we can talk. If you want to throw hands, we can throw hands. But
she chose violence.
Guys, this is a little controversial, but anyway,
they're already going to be intimidated. You're drinking coffee.
I'm drinking coffee, so you should be scandalized. All the caffeine.
Oh, that's right. The Mormons don't drink coffee.
They don't drink Coke because Coke has caffeine in it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into the beliefs of like the Church of Mormon right now because that's going to be a whole different podcast.
Again, we're only like 10 minutes in and you're already talking shit about the Mormons.
This is a little weird.
Okay, but Stephanie Myers, right?
Yeah, full disclaimer, my beliefs are not representative of Becky or Dean or the Film Club podcast. Okay.
Thank you.
Point being, yeah, there's definitely a lot going on here with like, like repressed emotions and passion and like his whole thing about like he's so drawn to Bella's blood specifically, but he's a gentleman who's like reeling this in and like trying to protect her. That has, I think, more to do with like romance and like sexual passion than maybe is talked about in the movies. It's implied in the books, but like I think that's a big theme here, and that's what like gets all the ladies excited. It
is her first smutty romance novel kind of thing. Because again, I haven't read these books, but I get the sense that they're not like explicit smutty romance novels, but they're like up to the line. This is not a Court of
Thorn and Roses.
Okay, book you're reading currently.
It's teen friendly.
Yes, thank you, Ariel. She has me reading that franchise, and my God. The things that happen in that book.
I've heard of it. I haven't read it. But you guys, I have been watching Bridgerton.
Oh, no.
Is Bridgerton Victorian smut? Is that what it is?
It's not Victorian. It's Regency era. And it's, by the way, I say it's Regency era, but it's so anachronistic, like so intentionally, like historically inaccurate.
Yeah.
The costumes, everything.
Yes, we get it. You lived in the UK for a while.
You guys get your British period right.
I mean, she did go to Hogwarts.
I went to Hogwarts, School of Witchcraft and Magicianship.
Yes.
Yeah, it's smutty. Bridgerton is pretty. You know what? Maybe I'm just puritanical. It's pretty smutty for me. I'm like, whoa, this is. I've seen a lot of like men's butts lately, and I'm like, wow, okay, like
more often than usual.
Yeah, like I mean, other than my husband's, I'm just like
and your children
and my children. They're little boys, but
they're
just
little men.
like
I mean, Val's basically a grown man.
True,
He just started talking in complete sentences. I heard.
He has, and you guys are gonna see him later.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while.
Deeply, deeply entertained and amused. But anyway, Bridgerton is smutty. Yeah.
Another thing my best friend's trying to get me to watch. Your sister's trying to get me to watch that. Cielo's trying to get me to watch that.
You would like it, I think.
I don't know.
It's yeah, maybe I think you'd have to just warm up to it because I definitely didn't like the first season.
Warm up to it?
Yeah.
Okay, so she doesn't get the smutty references.
I get it.
She gets it. She's just not, she's
like,
not taking the bait.
All right, yeah.
She's not going to engage with it. I see. All right.
I mean, yeah, I didn't like the first season, but the second season I thought was really good, actually. Now I'm in the third season, almost done. I have like 2 episodes left. It's yeah, I know, deep sighs, but
New Moon.
Sorry, guys,
yes.
But yeah, you would like the romance because you like Twilight, Becky.
Yeah.
The romance is pretty good, I have to say, in Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Anyway,
New Moon.
Because Dean, chomping at the bit to talk about Jacob.
Yeah, I'm not chomping at the bits to talk about. I'm not chomping at the bits to talk about Jacob, but it is a thing where, I'm curious for you two because I don't know. This book was already like released and out and read by the time the first movie came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So you already read this, and I remember the last podcast we did that you guys watched the movie and you were happy that there's a Twilight movie, but were not fans because it was inaccurate to the book. Right?
Yeah, there was a lot of things missing from the book in the first movie.
Okay. So I'm curious, were you guys excited for New Moon and you were like, finally we're going to get the accurate representation we want? Or was this more like, okay, we're gonna get another Twilight movie. We're gonna go see it anyway. Like, what I guess what were
I
you
mean-
expecting coming into this?
I mean, I don't want to speak for her, but for me, I was excited that the new movie was coming out, but there were the fears of, what are they going to change?
Because I know there was, like, talks they were gonna change a lot of the cast, because they thought the first movie was gonna be, like, one and done, and then it got really successful, so they were thinking about changing a lot of people.
I don't remember exactly how I reacted when I heard that they were doing New Moon. I think that I had like absorbed so much of the criticism from the Twilight movies because people were just like, railing into it.
Knives were out for this entire franchise.
Yeah, for real. But I will say, like, I don't remember even like my reaction the first time seeing New Moon, like when it came out.
I was there.
I don't. Okay, well then maybe Becky can't speak for me.
Like, I was there. We went to go see it together.
Yeah. But I will say that rewatching it, sorry, I feel like my brain, like my memory's been wiped clean after having children. I've said this before, but rewatching it, I was like, I really enjoyed this actually.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like it when I was watching this again, like, and it's been years since I've seen it, I actually, there was a moment where I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I remembered what it was like to read the book. So I really felt like they captured like the atmosphere so much better than in Twilight.
Yeah.
Like the cinematography, just the feeling of like reading the book and like that, the tension, like I thought it was actually really well done.
To me, that was an immediate thing. Is you could tell, one, they had more money, and two, it's a much better production overall. They got rid of the whole blue tinge to everything.
I mean, Catherine Hardwicke was supposed to be the director on this movie, but she did have a scheduling issue, and I think that worked because they kind of pulled more towards what the book was.
Well, I think there's a thing, because I did listen to like an interview with the director Chris Weitz.
Yeah.
Chris Weitz. And he's very much like, yeah, Catherine would have done it, but the turnaround was so close together that she couldn't. And he was very thankful because she did set up so much of what the franchise was going to do. But even he was like, we realistically couldn't have kept the same aesthetic because that is so ultra specific, and I don't think I'm going to make anybody mad, but the first movie really had the vibe of like almost a made-for-TV film, like an expensive one, but it felt cheap, right?
It did. It also had like that Catherine Hardwicke like documentary feel. I don't know, which really like was jarring for me because I was like, this is supposed to feel like fantastical and like it's real life, or supposed to be, right? It's
There's
real
vampires
girls'
and
experience.
werewolves,
Right, yeah, but it shouldn't feel so like gritty. It should feel more like romantic and elevated and fantastical, like Harry Potter feels in a way.
It's a thing where her style is very good when it's like Bella and Edward are talking in rooms, but when she has to do the fantastical stuff where it's the slow-mo and the action, it's like, this looks fucking ridiculous. Like the baseball sequence looks kind of fucking ridiculous in that movie when she has to like, they have superpowers.
Well, we don't talk about the baseball scene. That is iconic. It's legendary.
Because Muse is there?
It's perfect. Yes.
Okay.
I will say there were a few moments in New Moon where I was like cringe, but
Victoria?
The whole movie?
Not Victoria, actually.
Please, this is a love letter to your hero, Jacob. So
we're gonna get into like the glow up Taylor Lautner had for this movie because it is Oh, okay. Yeah. Yasmin is like, yes, we will. She has an hour set aside for that.
No. I just want to hear it from you, Dean.
Yeah.
We will.
I think actually that Christopher Weitz, and that's his name, right?
That's what we've agreed on.
Chris
Okay,
Weitz,
Chris CW.
Chris Weitz. Okay. And his team, they did a really good job of like seamlessly moving from like, Twilight to New Moon, making it feel like it wasn't something completely different. Like I do feel like it's not like there's a very fluid transition there, even though it's obviously feels different. And I feel like maybe the cringier moments were like, I don't know, tying back to what Catherine Hardwicke did in Twilight. Because, like, when you first see Edward walk up to Bella in slow-mo with, like, his shirt
Hey,
blowing.
You love that. I was sitting right next to you. You're like, oh my God.
Probably. I was like,
no, that was
16.
That was the reaction.
But I'm a little older now. Yeah, just a little bit. And then you see Jacob come up with, like, oh my God, the wig and
the dream catcher.
And you're just like, oh, it feels like Catherine Hardwicke. And then the when Bella goes to the Cullens for her birthday party, and you're like, wow, this is the weirdest, most boring, awkward birthday party I've ever seen in my life. Catherine Hardwicke vibes, but like
it's a thing where it's just like I know she's not directing this, but I'm curious, are they just kind of cringy in the books? Like, is it one of those? Well, here's the thing. I know this is a thing that happens in like adaptations from book to novels, right? Because a lot of times from novels to film, a lot of times novels are incredibly internalized. Like, we're in characters' heads a lot, and then it's like, oh, now we have to put this on screen. But if you take only what is visually explained in a novel, it's literally people just standing in rooms and have very minor conversations because so much of what's on the page is interior monologue. Is that the thing in Twilight? Is it 90% just her internal monologue? And then if you only adapted what we see, quote unquote, see in the book, it's just her standing in rooms with like a slack-jawed expression? Yasmin's about to just realize that is exactly what this is.
And cue in Midnight Sun, where we really get some action going.
I'm a literature major. Why?
You are.
No, but it's been so long since I read these books, but I think that is an accurate analysis that, like, really most of the action is, I'm pretty sure it's narrated in the first person, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, so a lot of it is just, interior,
Interior monologue.
Yeah, monologue.
It's Bella's thoughts, her opinions.
And it doesn't translate well, yeah.
And it's like, we need Edward back.
I guess that's a good way to get into this, because I know that this was supposed to be the hardest one to adapt because Edward fucks off in the first 20 minutes. Edward's like, I am out, bitch. Kisses, goodbye.
Yeah.
You look like you just had a Nom flashback when you said that.
Because I remember reading it. The book's
here. I remember it too now. Yeah, I remember being kind of pissed off with New Moon. Like, right? Because you're like, where the hell is Edward?
They're like, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, where's my love interest, right?
He leaves.
Yeah.
So they can introduce another love interest.
I didn't want Jacob.
I didn't either, honestly. Like, I think we were both, like, solidly Team Edward. Just like...
From the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like... Because they're meant to be.
Exactly.
They are... destined in time, like through time and space.
Star-crossed lovers.
I know Dean is really creeped out about, the age difference, but
it's not even particularly the age difference. It's mostly just, again, I have not read the book, so I don't get the whole internal monologue of it. But on screen, Edward's just like, when I smell you, God, it takes everything not to tear you apart. Also, I watch you in your sleep. And she's like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, I don't sleep, so I just kind of watch you when you sleep. That's just creepy as fuck.
I'm not going to throw you under the bus, because, you say some questionable things to me.
I'm drunk. Don't worry
about
it.
No, you're very sober when you tell me these things. We're out in public, and I'm just like...
It's getting personal here.
I'm like, he throws a lot of stones.
But Dean isn't 109. Not that we know of.
No, I'm older than him, but... He acts 10 times older than me.
Yes. Yeah. Again, it's a thing where I just find Edward creepy. And I guess it's a thing. He's a vampire. I find him creepy. Have we had this
conversation before about, like, the way that women perceive, like, creepiness versus, like, total hotness?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we have, because I've seen the thing where it's just like, if Philip Seymour Hoffman is like, you look nice today, it's like, HR, somebody's bothering me. But if Bradley Cooper's like, you look hot today, they're like, oh, how are you doing? You want to go get drinks after this? It's that thing, right?
Yeah, it's that bias of, like, one, how hot is the guy? Mm-hmm. And two, does the woman desire it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, like, some dude comes up and breathes down your neck. You're like, get the hell away from me. I will call the police, right? Like you're saying.
I do the same thing with Dean. He breathes down my neck. I'm like, I will call the police. Get off of me.
Poor Dean. Yeah, but like if it's somebody that, they're interested in, it's like, oh my gosh, and she goes into a whole romantic fantasy, creating a whole narrative around their love, I mean, women are weird.
Very, very weird. They like Twilight. But okay, so
Really, Lord of the Rings boy?
Lord of the Rings is a goddamn masterpiece.
Okay, yes, I will defend Dean.
She throws this at me being like, oh, I like Twilight. You like Lord of the Rings, Dean. And I'm like, Lord of the Rings is one of the greatest works of Western literature of the last 100 years.
But do I give it crap?
Okay,
no.
well, maybe I won't go that far, but it is excellent.
Are you really?
It is. I mean, to say it's one of the greatest is like a bit far.
Of the last 100 years?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I don't think she'll give you all time.
Is Tolkien? I won't give you all time. No.
But
Tolkien is like, you can't compare Tolkien and Stephanie Meyer as like, prose stylists. I mean, for God's sake, or like, the world that he created. I mean, even you can't compare J.K. Rowling or
and
really anyone.
Created. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he's in a league of his own, really.
Mm-hmm. And so weird that he's, not part of this generation, but I mean that, you think of Tolkien being, from, long time ago, and it's like, oh no,
contemporary.
I was like, it's weird.
To freak people out, my parents were in high school dating when Tolkien died.
See, that's
weird.
Weird.
Very weird. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this isn't strange to me, but
what's weird? Stephanie Meyer is still alive and well, writing novels to this very day.
We got to talk about Life and Death, the book that she wrote.
Okay, I was like, should we just talk about life and death?
I mean,
I didn't know we were talking about a book.
But that's the
we should
the gender reverse where Bella's the vampire and Edward is the human.
This woman is just
so it's a thing where Bella, I guess, is Beau, and then I don't remember what Edward is supposed to be, but
Evelyn,
I guess Edwina,
something of that vein. But I guess, spoiler alert, he fakes his death at the end of the book and becomes a vampire. And I'm like, what? Like, what?
I don't know.
I know.
We need to talk about
that.
I'm
like, I don't like this.
So New Moon, I guess we could just cut to the chase a little bit, because the opening of the movie is Bella has weird dreams and she wants to be a vampire. Edward's like, no, because
How did you like that dream sequence?
Oh, it's very Lynchy and it was great.
I had a feeling that you would love it.
I did. It opening in the dream sequence was, I kind of dug it, because I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Are we getting, do these movies get like weird and surreal?
And then Grandma's, doing the same, motions, and it's her touching the mirror, and it's like, oh shit, I'm an old lady with Edward. He's so hot.
Yes. But I do like that, because it is like an insight into her mind of like, knowing that if she's not a vampire, she's going to grow old, Edward will be eternally young, and she's going to die. She's going to die, right? But I think it's interesting that Edward's like, it'll damn your soul forever, so I must leave. And he just kind of, he just straight up breaks up with her?
Well, he leaves after the world's worst paper cut.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because they have the birthday party, and I love how she has a paper cut, and Jasper's like, no, I must eat you. And Edward's like, no. And he just throws the bitch. Just fucking bam. Like a fucking four-door sedan to get her. Boom.
The same thought we all had. We're like, you're the fastest one of the family. You could have, picked her up and took off running with her.
You could have also just
jumped on your brother, No, let me just yeet her across the room.
Into a mirror.
Also, why the fuck they keeping Jasper around? Jasper don't seem like he's chill.
Did anyone notice the change in Jasper's hair?
We all did. Every movie, we noticed the change of Jasper. Spoiler.
Okay.
He's constantly changing.
Okay, his hair this movie was like giving like suburban housewife, like, mid 40s vibes. Like, it was bad. It was really bad.
Okay, because I know wigs are a big thing in this franchise. Yeah. Is it just a thing where...
No, the wigs are all bad.
Okay, I don't, because sometimes I say, ooh, things are bad, and Becky's like, no, don't hate on things I love.
The wigs were atrocious.
Okay, because I know, like... I'm almost positive that Taylor Lautner just like halfway through the movie is like, I can't keep this fucking Halloween store wig on.
Oh, he hated
the wig. It looks so bad. It looks so bad.
It did.
Oh my god, it looks so fucking bad. But yeah, so I'm always curious watching these. I'm like, okay, so I think Robert Pattinson, that's his real hair, but some of the high school kids, I'm like, I don't know if that's your real hair, my guy.
I mean, are we really supposed to worry about the high school kids?
They're
They're just filler.
Okay, except Anna Kendrick has some of the best dialogue like ever.
That she ad-libbed.
She's so good.
Yeah.
She's so good. When she comes into the movie theater and
Yes.
she's like analyzing the movie and she's like, the critique of materialism, it's like, okay, whatever. Like,
And
or
leprosy.
consumerism.
She's like, my cousin suffered from leprosy. That
It's
wasn't
not a
funny. And I was like, I didn't remember that, but I was like, that's hilarious.
It was so funny, honestly.
Anna Kendrick's like, I'm getting paid to be in these movies. I'm gonna make them fucking worth it. God damn it.
Yeah, she was great. Honestly, the moments of comic relief actually worked for me in this movie in a way that they didn't in Twilight.
Yeah.
But
Was the first Twilight supposed to be funny at all? I know, like, Hop on Spider Monkey, that was funny, but I don't think
It's
that was
not
meant
That
to
wasn't in
be.
the book.
that's
Huh?
bad.
That
What
wasn't
was
in the
that?
book.
Oh man, you know what? Like Robert Pattinson is such a great actor, and like he's become like a really great actor.
He's become like recognized as like, oh no, you're like really good
Yes,
as like
as-
a-
He's
an
vengeance.
actor.
and as
Yeah.
well as Kristen Stewart. Like she's done
Yeah.
a lot of like great films, like serious films, right? Since
Yeah.
Twilight. I think both of them were also like really trying to prove themselves after this franchise. But
Oh, 100%.
yeah.
Oh, Robert Pattinson after this is like, I have to work with Cronenberg. I gotta work with, I gotta work like the indie circuit. I gotta
All
go
the
back to my
peeps.
roots.
Yeah.
Just so
Director
they
from
forget.
Parasite, I can't think of his name.
Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is so funny how both of them were like,
Hard. yeah.
we need to
180.
go away. We need to.
But
Yeah.
speaking of Robert
'Cause-
Pattinson, favorite book of the series and favorite soundtrack, he goes, it's ahead of its time. And it was.
The
Absolute
soundtrack,
banger.
the soundtrack slaps, dude. When I
It's-
was listening to this, I was like, "Wow!" But it's almost like overwhelming because it's like there's a song every like
Yeah.
2 minutes.
And I was sitting there watching the movie and I'm like, that's this song. That's that one. That's that one. That's that one.
Fun fact: the director, Chris Weitz, was like, "Yeah, that was literally just like my playlist to like driving to and from set."
Mm-hmm.
He literally
I thought
like
they
picked
did
all the
these
music.
songs specifically for
For-
the movie.
A few of them,
A few of them
but a
were,
lot of them were needle drops. Just like,
Really?
yeah, they were already out. I think that was the first movie too. Like
Yeah.
most of them were like just
apart from
the
Decode,
Paramore song. Yeah.
Yeah, Decode
Wow.
and the ones that Robert Pattinson wrote.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
Mhm. But yeah, a lot of the new. I think that's a reason why people really liked these movies is because
Absolute
the soundtracks
bangers.
are good.
Mhm.
Like if I was a teenage girl
Teen
in
angst is
2009, yeah, these soundtracks would be slapping.
The day they came out, I would be at the store picking up my copy and the score, and I'd go home and I'd rip them over to iTunes and have them on the iPod. What a
strong,
time to be alive.
strong.
Becky misses 2009, her iPod, Twilight.
This really was like a trip for me because I haven't watched this movie since it came out.
Since
But
the
yeah.
theater.
Yeah, truly. And I was like, wait a minute.
And this
How
is the
old am
last
I?
one that we saw together. Because you left
Yeah.
the next year.
Oh my god, what?
To Europe,
Yeah.
Really?
to Hogwarts.
When you went to Scotland. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so New Moon. Yeah, so
Tina's just gonna keep going. Yeah. So
back to
New
the
Moon.
movie. So
Back to Jacob.
well, okay, well, I guess that's a thing because fucking Edward bails, and then
Bails and does it in a way where he makes Bella think that, I don't love you.
She was nothing to him.
Nothing. And it's like she knows that he's doing this because of the paper cut heard around the world.
he doesn't want to turn her. He doesn't want her to turn into a vampire.
He doesn't want to damn her soul. And it's just like...
Do they know their souls are damned, or is that more like
it's a theme.
assumed?
It's a theme in the book where
They
it's
say
just
it in the movie though.
no, I know, but I'm saying in
Yeah.
the book, that they make a thing of yeah, my soul's damned. I don't want to do that to you, and it's just no, I want to be with you. So it's like I don't care, damned or not, I want to be with you.
Mm-hmm.
And Dean's like, I get that, Evil Dead.
Yeah, I've seen Evil Dead a few times. Inspirations abound. But so yeah, fucking Edward leaves and Bella starts having visions of him. I mean, we get the whole teenage girl breakup sequence where she's just staring out the window for 3 months.
Oh God, that was so poorly done. I'm sorry. That like, it would have been fine without the stupid months.
Oh my
over.
God, It's
in the book.
Becky is literally showing me the book pages where it's a blank page that just has the month written on there: October, November, December. It's a month a page.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay,
yeah. Try being a
so
reader, and we see that for the first time, and we're like, "What the fuck happened?"
She's padding
Stephanie,
the fucking
you
page
could have
count.
just said like, months passed. No, but we need the drama.
We need the drama.
But I hated that they like freaking put it in the movie. I'm like, can we just fine do the 360 with the Looky Lee song in the background? She's staring forlornly out of the window, and you see the seasons passing. But like, do we need to see like October? It's just annoying.
I was living that moment when Dean went to Joshua Tree recently. I just kind of sat, at home. My room was spinning.
I was literally gone for 2 days.
See how much you mean to her.
I told him that, and he just laughed at me, and he was like, "Huh, you love me? What a nerd!" And I'm just like, "Wow,
oh, man.
like wow."
Yeah.
Like, I'm bearing my soul here too. You're just like, "Wow."
Dean's so cruel. But yeah, so
He's gonna be like, "Boo, I'm sorry. My dad's starting to look older. We got to move away. So deuces."
So rude. So yeah. So Bella is, I guess she gets into a thing of doing dumb things to try and attract Edward back.
Before this happens, she's having like nightmares,
Yeah.
like persisting nightmares, even before he left. It's like she's having these premonitions.
Yeah.
And she's screaming in the middle of the night, and her dad's trying to send her back to her mom.
Also, whoever the actor playing her dad is,
Billy Burke,
consistently the best parts of these movies. Consistently the best actor in these films, by the way.
I love introducing Dean to these movies because he has as many male crushes in the movie as I do. So it's very nice to bond on that.
Definitely more.
Becky. Yeah, definitely more. He loves Charlie. He loves Billy. He loves Jacob. I'm trying to think who else will he love, because there's still a lot of people we have to meet in these movies.
True.
Lord. Again, I just think he is like consistently the best actor in these films, because it's like he's just playing like regular dad. He, charming. He's funny. I think he's acting like he's not in a fucking Twilight movie. He's working it out.
He's grounding us.
He's
all.
grounding us all.
Like a true dad.
Exactly. But yeah. So Bella has the weird premonitions, and then she goes out with her friend Chris Hendrick. What the fuck's her
Hendricks,
character's name?
Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick.
What's her name? What the hell is her name? Jessica.
Jessica, yeah.
Goes out with Jessica, right?
Jennifer.
Batman. So she goes out with her.
No, he's taking a break in this movie.
Yeah, so she goes out with her, and I am unsure what it is, because this is where she's like, oh, the guy's calling her over the motorcycle, all that stuff. Is this a thing where she wants to feel something, is doing all these extreme things? Or does she believe if she does dangerous shit, Edward will come back and save her?
There we go.
Is that it? Okay, because we do see like the literal vision of Edward standing in the streets talking to her.
Yeah.
The Phantom Edward.
Okay, I need to know, is that actual Edward, or is that her fucking going crazy because Edward's not around? Do we have that explained?
No, I think it's her mind forcing her to see what she wants to see.
Is it?
I think
That's
so.
disturbing.
Unless we're, getting really supernatural in the book, it's like.
Yeah, honestly, like, I don't remember. See, I don't remember how it's described in the book.
I probably could have powered through this before we recorded. On the real.
Slacking.
Christ.
It's 563 pages. Totally could have burned through that.
When I was watching the movie, and, like, again, cannot remember the book, I took it as him like actually having some kind of supernatural ability to like sense when she's in danger and like connect with her, because they're like, they're soulmates. But maybe that's completely wrong, and she's just imagining him there. She does say, maybe I'm going crazy.
Yeah. She misses him that much. She's, projecting. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, because he doesn't know. Like when he hears that she's died from the, when she jumps off the cliff.
From the cliff jump, yeah.
He doesn't know. Like, right? He's totally.
It's Alice that's keeping tabs on Bella because she can, see into the future.
And
Not
she
well,
tells
by the
him.
way.
And then she tells Rosalie. And then Rosalie's the one that spills the beans and tells him.
That she's dead. Yeah.
Well, Jacob's the one that tells him. Because Jacob answers the phone.
Right.
But it's, that fear of, well, did she? Let me call the house. And then Jacob's, yeah.
Which, you guys, we have to talk about how this whole book is, like, mirroring Romeo and Juliet intentionally.
Oh, the movie's even making it apparent.
Yeah.
Like the first scene in high school, they're talking about
the
Romeo
first
and Juliet.
lines of when the first lines are from Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
And everyone is so taken aback when Edward starts saying
Hell
the
yeah.
soliloquy
Hell yeah.
in class.
The teacher's like, eyes on the screen, everyone.
I was drooling in the theater like, wow.
Shakespeare.
I thought-
Robert Pattinson lacklusterly saying Shakespeare in a classroom setting.
Watching it now, and like, no, I don't know how I took it when I was a teen, probably the same way Becky did.
Oh, you were.
But yeah. But watching it now, I was like, it must have been so painful for a British actor to recite Shakespeare in an American accent.
Oh, probably.
That's all I could think about.
I don't know if... Because I guess that's a thing. Like, I know, like, older British actors were, like Shakespearean trained or whatever. Mostly because that's just what you would do.
Like Laurence Olivier.
Yeah, Olivier and all that stuff. Like, if you were, like, an actor in, like, the fucking 60s, 70s, it's like you did fucking Shakespeare for, like, 17 years before you ever made a movie. I don't know if Robert Pattinson was like, yeah, I did that. Or if he's like, dog, I grew up in the fucking 90s, all right? I watched, like, Taxi Driver and Moved to America. What the fuck do you mean? I don't know Shakespeare.
Little of both, maybe.
Little of both. But yeah, so Bella's like, I'm going to do dangerous, extreme shit because I'm broken up with.
I mean, whether it is something supernatural or something that her mind is creating, why not? It's like, he's not here. He promised to protect me. I'm going to be 18 and do crazy shit.
Yes, because this movie is the breakup movie.
It is the breakup movie.
And this is where she gets the motorcycles and she goes to Jacob to have him fix them for her. And this is like the first time we actually get a good look at Jacob, right? This is the first time we see him.
In the movie, no.
We see him in Twilight, but
we see him in Twilight,
yeah,
and he's there
New
for
Moon.
her birthday.
Well, I mean in New
in
Moon.
New Moon.
Yeah. This is like the first time we get like a good look at him, and because I don't know, because I never read the books, but I heard that I guess he does go through a huge transformation from book 1 to book 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is he, like, what is that? Is he supposed to be, like, fucking, like, giant and jacked and totally different?
In the book, he's really tall.
He's, like, gone through puberty, but it's not just puberty.
It's werewolf puberty.
It's werewolf puberty, exactly.
He hit the fucking TRT, got the fucking HRH going hardcore now.
Yeah. He's supposed to be very physically different, and she looks different too.
Yeah.
The first, like when I saw her, I was like, whoa, like she
changed a lot in a year.
Yeah, and also did anyone notice that all the vampires look more vampire-y?
Yeah.
Yeah.
More pale, more ashy.
Yeah, like brighter eyes, which I liked, honestly.
Approved.
Yeah.
Approved. Yeah. Check.
But I mean, Taylor Lautner almost, was chaka-chaka'd.
Oh yeah, they were gonna recast him. Like, Yasmin looks so taken aback.
I feel like he carries like a lot of this movie. I mean, well, his acting, like he might not be, the best actor in this movie. And certainly like he didn't have the same obvious acting, career in the future as like Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart. But like in the same way that who's the guy who plays Charlie?
Billy Burke.
Billy Burke, yeah. Like he has that realness that like makes the film feel less contrived and awkward and cringy, like he just kind of has a very candid way of like delivering his lines.
It's the thing where I think, like, okay, again, I was not in the room with these people, but I've surmised a few things. Like Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson, to my understanding for the first movie, they kind of did it for career reasons and they weren't really passionate about it. Like Kristen Stewart was like, I was a child actor for a long time. Now I'm going to do like my teenage franchise thing and I'm going to go on to do like the indie circuit or whatever. And Robert Pattinson's like, this is a movie I can get a working visa to go do movies in America. I'll do that. Lautner, I think he was like, yeah, like I'm going to be in this movie. I'm going to make the best of it or whatever. Because it's like he was a child actor. He was in Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
He was Shark Boy.
Shark Boy. Masterpiece. And I think it's a thing where he didn't look down on the material, and he's like, I'm going to do my best or whatever. And I think it's a thing with this movie, he's still in the mindset of like, I'm still going to do my best. It's almost like he understands what he's in more so than the other actors in it. And it's also a thing where it's like, I really think recasting him would have been a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's only in the first movie for like 20 minutes, maybe. But yeah, because I guess they were like, he's too small and shrimpy. And he's like, you know, I'm a black belt in like 4 different martial arts and a trained dancer. Like I could get swole for you guys.
Yeah, he's like, let me put on 25 pounds and show you I can do what I need to do.
Mm-hmm. I want to imagine the producers were like, all right, they come in. Look at the skinny kid. Holy shit. Pop your shirt off, kid. Yeah, nah, we're going to sell some fucking posters with this kid right here. Get him on set. You know it was probably that fucking cynical, but yeah. But he looks much better in this, and especially when he gets the fucking haircut. God,
See,
that fucking wig was so bad.
The wig is terrible. I remember in the book that he had like this very like extremely masculine, imposing, like strong, like vibe, like look to him. Like he really came into his like manliness, and that's kind of the only way I feel that he could even like compete with Edward, because Edward is like, the dreamboat, he's the he's the romance.
Yeah, it's also I guess it's the thing, like Edward's the eternal like 18-year-old or what, I don't know how old he's supposed to
17.
He's the eternal like 17-year-old like high school dreamboat, and Jacob's like, I'm a man. Like, I got chest hair, my guy. You fucking got bit before your balls dropped. Like, fuck off, dude.
Oh my gosh.
So much hate for Edward.
So wait,
I'm just being a meme, by the way.
Funny segue, because I have to say that definitely, like, when the series came out and when the movies were coming out, I was like 100% Team Edward. Mm-hmm. But when I watched this again, I was like, wait a minute. I'm a grown-ass woman now. Like, Jacob is kind of like, it's Team Jacob for me, like, watching it the second time. I know it's, like, kind of blasphemy, but I was like, dang, like, that's a man. That guy's telling you, like, I'm here to protect you when your boyfriend freaking abandoned you. Yeah. I'm never going to leave you. Like, I mean, it's like daddy behavior.
It is, and then
Yasmin's over here be like, I kind of found a new kink watching this movie.
That's not new for me. I've got
she's got a husband.
I've got a husband
and who's a father.
My husband's a dad, so like that's what turns me on.
Oh God, I can't wait for Kevin to listen to this, and he's gonna be like,
yeah, it's all about that, protective, providing, masculine wolf energy, dude, protecting your lady, protecting your woman.
And then we'll see how things evolve.
Yeah,
later in the story.
Don't go there yet,
because
Becky.
Oh man, I think Dean's gonna be singing a different tune.
Wait, does Dean not know anything about that?
Nothing.
Again, to this point, I have now only seen these 2 films.
Just wait, Dean. Dean's like, I think the Edward thing's really creepy. It's like,
yeah.
I am
things
so
are gonna
sure.
Get creepy.
I'm so sure the next movies are gonna they're gonna be fucking awful for me. But hey, I'm excited. But yeah. So it is just the thing where I think that's the whole point of this movie, is trying to sell the audience that of a rival love interest.
Yeah, and I mean, even in the book, from what I remember, I think Bella has like a daydream sequence where she sees like her life with Jacob and how it would be a life. They'd get married and they'd have kids and they'd grow old together. And I guess they filmed something that just didn't make it into the movie where it's basically that. And I'm like, well, I would have loved to have seen that. Because it's that internal struggle she starts to have where, Edward's her everything, but it's kind of like, well, I can move on and I can be human and I can be happy. So it's not just this, I want to be a vampire. It's, I could be either or.
There's a real option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is an interesting thing where the movie is trying to play with that idea of, yes, he's your true love, but he is not the safe option or the best option or whatever. You could just like it's like settling versus taking the chance kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can settle for Jacob and you will have a happy life and all that stuff,
And
or
that's-
you can
Yeah.
roll the dice and marry Edward.
Yeah, that's, basically what she says in the book. It's, I could settle with Jacob and be happy. I could learn to be happy and be in love with him. But with Edward, it's just, it's you don't
It's
even
the
have to try.
Notebook, guys.
It's no competition.
It's all just The Notebook.
It's the Notebook.
Every film is The Notebook.
Yeah.
You love The Notebook.
I've never seen it, but
I think the reason why they might have not leaned into Jacob being a real option for Bella in the movie was because they were also trying to really lean into the Romeo and Juliet, like faded lovers, theme here. And like, I think actually it's throughout the whole film. It's not just when, I almost said Robert Pattinson. No, it's not just when Edward like finds out that he thinks she's dead, and they have that whole confusing thing. It's throughout the film where she's like, he's basically dead to her because he's gone, and so this whole thing of her like kind of, toying with the idea of like adrenaline or like almost suicide, because people say to her, like multiple people say like, are you trying to kill yourself? Like, why are you so crazy? It's that idea of like he's technically dead to her, so she's gonna do all these like
Flirt with death,
exactly. Have these little Juliet moments, but not actually stab herself with a dagger.
I mean, I think her greatest dance with death is when she goes to the awkward double face punch date.
That's so good, honestly.
So I'm
gonna punch your face. I'm gonna punch your face. Kino.
No, I've seen some pretty shitty Hong Kong action flicks, but double face punch, I'd be curious to watch that movie. I'd be curious.
Not
Because
surprising.
Because her high school, because okay, I
Mike?
know, Mike, because I know like Jacob and Edward are the actual love interest, but Mike is like, I'm a normal human that just thinks you're just the tops, gal. You
And
want to
she's
go
like,
out with
get
me?
away from me, dork.
That feels so bad because Mike's like, I'm on the football team, you're cute, and she's like, you are not an eternal vampire or built like that guy.
Well, I mean,
sorry.
Well, I mean, in the book, his family owns a sporting goods store.
Oh my god, you guys,
And-
stop.
He is
And-
so.
And
Just
she
realized
works. She works at the store. She's co-workers with him, so it's kind of like putting the moves in at school, at work, and she's just like,
It's
no.
the thing where she's like, I could be with Edward, but it's gonna be so hard to get there, or I could settle for Jacob and it'll be there, or I could really kind of just settle for Mike and like hit.
Mike's not even an option.
Mike's over there,
No.
like he'll pop on the New Balances and cargo shorts at 30, and we'll have a pretty fun life. He's gonna get a tech job, and it'll be okay. 401k, it'll be cool. Are you having some realizations
Having
about
some
Mike?
realizations, not about Mike, but like two things. Like one, I think he's there to show that she is like set apart. She's special from the get-go, even like as before she. Okay, well, I'm not gonna. No spoilers. Okay.
Yeah, we can't go into too much
Even
detail.
though she's human, like when she goes to see the Volturi, and they're like shocked by the fact that she has these like powers of.
Oh, by the way, the Volturi are the ancient vampire council that
Yes.
Everyone has seen as the "I'm better than you" meme on the internet. Just wanted everybody to know that because I don't think we mentioned them before.
Are you happy you understand what that is
You
now?
have no idea. In
Oh
my
God!
notes,
There's
I literally
so many notes that you wrote.
Yes, well, that's all the plot.
He's
so I literally
obsessed.
wrote down,
He's a twihard.
"OMG, it's the classy meme." Also, flashback to Vampire Council and/or royalty ?
OMG.
Think the name starts with a V. Yeah, that's
The
literally.
Volturi, yes.
Also, wow,
Yes.
an original inspo for the Hunger Games? ?
That I don't know.
No, the original inspiration was Battle Royale. By the
I'm
way,
just
the movie.
messing around. But
Wild,
there are
by the way.
big like District 1. Is that what it's called in Hunger Games?
I don't know.
Yeah,
the
District
rich
1.
district.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what are
Yeah.
they called? There's a word. There's a name for them. But anyway,
I am less well read on Hunger Games than I am on
I
Twilight.
haven't read that in
so,
a long
Okay.
time.
Yeah, I could ask my brother. He would know. He read all those books.
God, it's gonna bother me.
Yeah.
But fun fact, the Volterra, the town that the Volturi lives in, that's the same town they used for Under the Tuscan Sun.
LOL.
I love that movie.
Really?
It's a thing.
You never mention it.
It's free on YouTube. I watch it anytime it pops up.
But yeah, so what the fuck were we talking about? The Volturi thingies?
I was gonna say, yeah,
Mike.
that when Bella meets with them, they're like shocked by the fact that their powers don't work on her. That she has some like kind of force field, some kind of ability to resist, their powers. So I think that like Mike is kind of, and maybe that's his purpose, like to show she's really not, just a regular human girl, and that's
There's
also
something
why
about her that just
something
keeps
about
drawing,
supernatural beings also to her. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna find out
But
Mike's a
also,
fucking
what the hell?
Jekyll and Hyde person.
We're just gonna open the door on any
That would
monsters
be
into
an
this universe.
interesting, turn.
Turns out
But
Mike's
also,
Frankenstein.
you guys, I'm like realizing that, like, her name is Bella, and Jacob turns into a beast, and I'm like, is this Beauty
Belle and the Beast?
Yeah.
Is this Beauty and the Beast? No.
I thought you were gonna go back to Twilight. Well, her name's Bella. She must be Italian, and then we end up in Italy.
And
There
then,
you go.
yeah. But it is really. I just think it's funny that it's so this double face punch date or whatever it's almost only in the movie just to prove the point that like Bella will not be happy with normal people. Like she can't even feign interest in Mike watching a sick action movie.
Jacob's this beastly dude, but still pulling the same dude tricks. I'm gonna sit here with my hand out on the on the armrest, and maybe she'll take my hand. Same thing with the human guy. Maybe she'll take my hand. If I leave my hand, and she's just like, bruh, I just wanted to get out of the house and watch a movie. I've been going nuts. I want to do something normal so my dad doesn't send me to Florida.
That'd be hell getting sent to Florida.
Yeah, she's like, please. I will try to, not have the nightmares. I'll go out with, whoever.
Definitely no vampires in Florida. It's too sunny.
Yeah, way too sunny.
Oh God, I mean, they're not allergic to sunlight,
No,
They
but you
just
got to stay inside
glitter.
all day.
Yeah, they'll be exposed.
Exposed.
Their sparkly diamond-like skin.
Okay, I know that's a thing that a lot of people look at and be like, this sparkly skin thing is fucking dumb and oh my God, lore and da 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 da. I just think it just looks ridiculous. It looks so ridiculous when Robert Pattinson is walking out with his shirt off and it starts glowing, and I'm like, that is such a cheap looking fucking effect. It does not look good.
It does look pretty bad.
And it was just so we could see him, with the shirt open.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I've realized that.
Yeah.
They're just like, Jacob's had his shirt off most of the movie. Eddie, give him a shot. Give him a shot. But, yeah, so after this is when, I guess, Jacob joins some, like, werewolf fraternity thing.
He doesn't join it.
He doesn't join
It's in his DNA.
It's in his DNA. He's been fighting it.
Look, I know there's a thing about, like, DNA. DNA gets you diabetes, doesn't get you a cool, like, arm tattoo. He kind of joined a gang, my guys.
It's kind of like a gang. I mean, the way he describes it when he's like, he goes to her room and he's like, I can't tell you about it.
It's
like,
a cult.
Yeah. It's like a mafia,
It's like, they get me, they're like me.
And
That's
he's
why I
like-
got this tattoo here.
He's like, you know what this is. He's like, you just need to remember. She's like, well, I remember the vampires. He's like, fuck.
Of course.
She doesn't
that's
listen
the
to
only
anything I
part.
tell her.
She doesn't care about me.
She doesn't care about me.
He's like, we played
Friend
in the
zone.
We played in the sandbox together,
Dude,
know.
We made mud pies together.
When, like, at the end, when, the very end, when she's between Jacob and Edward, and she's like, she freaking goes up to Jacob like she's about to kiss him. Okay, I'm not surprised because I read the books and I know about this.
Yeah.
But, like, it's so annoying to watch where she's like, Jacob, I love you. It's like, you can't say that. You friend zone this kid so hard.
And then it gets even more complicated in Eclipse.
Don't say anything.
I have some theories with how you guys
You
are
will
reacting.
never guess what is about to go down, Dean.
Oh, God.
Oh, and we're going to have to get you back in here soon because he's probably, dying to know what happens next.
Yeah,
Lord.
let's do it.
But yeah, so we have a reappearance of some other vampires. Laurent
Yes.
shows up, and that's when we finally figure out why Jacob's been acting weird. He's a werewolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we get our first CGI fight scene, which was cool. It was neat.
in the dead meadow, because I mean, without Edward there to water the meadow, that died too.
Wait, what? Was he watering the meadow?
No, it's just a metaphor for their love and the fact that he's gone and it's dried out.
That's so fucking lame.
Well, I mean, she goes and she's like, I need, proof
that he existed.
That he existed, that this was real. And she goes to the meadow, and even the meadow's dead, and it's like, damn. When things were already bad, things just got even worse.
And now a vampire's showing up to murder me.
Yeah, and I have no one to protect me. So it's like, oh, well.
And the wolves fuck him up.
Well, yeah, they're wolves.
Yeah, piece his ass up real good. And then I got, this is kind of where we get the whole, like, Bella actually tries to, like, kill herself, jump off the fucking cliff, and then that leads us to the
Well, I mean, she doesn't try to
end.
kill herself. She's just like, I'm really going to do something really reckless. And then she's like, oh, that was awesome. And then she's like, oh, rip current.
I think she is kind of suicidal, though, because she's just like, the conversation she's having with imaginary Edward around it are like, doesn't matter, you're gone, blah, blah, blah.
And
so
then the
might
sad
as well
emails
die.
to Alice.
Oh.
We glossed over those. The sad emo emails.
Imagine getting those emails from, like, your brother's girlfriend. and
Your
just being
brother's
like,
ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh my gosh, not this bitch again.
Could you imagine? Also, I love how it's like, I am a centuries-old vampire, but yeah, I still got my AOL email. Yeah, I got in on the tech boom early, and I'm not fucking good in Google. I'm imagining their fucking, it's either Hotmail or AOL. Those are their email accounts.
I was
right?
imagining AOL.
Imagining AOL. They got
Just based
email
on
like
what I saw.
real early.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Alice Cullen at yahoo.com. Like, Alice Cullen 19. What's her birth year?
18.
1897 at
Dude,
yahoo.com.
I loved, like, in the early internet where you could go and they literally was like 18 whatever to like 19 whatever for like the year. So I know there were people who were like, oh god, what the fuck? Carlisle is like, okay, fucking birth year 1632 March 2nd. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that worked. Oh, sweet. Awesome.
You can't go past, like, probably like 1920 or
Oh,
something.
probably not. I think there are people who are old, who are 19 teens still alive, I think. No. Probably
How?
1920s would be the oldest now.
Like, maybe late 19.
It'd be like 1919, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how old the oldest person is now. That was a thing I was
Casey.
looking at the other day. How old's the oldest person now? But yeah.
Not as old as Carlisle.
Not as old as again, Carlisle's like, okay.
Carlisle's seen a lot.
How,
Did a stint with the Volturi for a little bit.
how old is Carlisle supposed to be?
What, like 300 years old?
Old as balls.
Old. Only 300 years old. That's
Sorry, I
not
had to
that
throw in
old.
the Lord of the Rings, but you didn't pick up.
He didn't catch it. Wow, fake fan.
He was.
How old is this
He was
horse?
old when he was old when the world was young. So yeah. But we get to the kind of end section where Edward thinks she's dead. He's gonna kill himself, and Bella's like, no. And then they somehow drive from Washington to what I can only assume is Italy or Brazil.
They don't drive. They take a plane, which we...
Okay.
They
I'm gonna
traveled by
stop-
map.
I'm gonna stop your ass right there. They're like driving out of Washington.
To the airport.
Did you not see the plane, the Virgin Atlantic plane? That I
you know
was
what
like,
I
LOL,
saw?
why do we need to know it's a Virgin
You know
Atlantic
what
plane?
I
It's
saw?
It's the 2000s.
Sponsored by Virgin
Yes.
Atlantic.
You know what I saw? I saw her hauling ass in a stolen car and then pull up in front of the church in the same stolen car.
It's not the same car in
It
front
is-
of Bella's
What?
house.
It is so the same
No,
car.
it's a black Mercedes in front of Bella's house.
And she pulls up in a black Mercedes
No.
in fucking
No,
Italy.
it's
in
a yellow
sports car.
Yes.
Wrong. We'll rewatch the movie. It's the same
Do you
damn
want me
car.
to pull up
Happened to
screenshots?
Dean? What happened
Same
to
car.
you in this 30 seconds?
But yeah, so she pulls up because they travel through space and time. And
So sad. It's so sad when he's backed in the corner, and it's like no one's backing him into that corner, but he's like, "I'm right. I can't.
I'm so right. Goddamn it, you know I'm right. But yeah, it's in Italy though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I remember
Under
we
the Tuscan sun.
Under the
Yes,
Tuscan-
duh.
Well, we see the flash of Edward I think we see like Edward wherever he is in Brazil.
You can see like the
The
Christ,
Christ thing, yeah.
statue.
Yeah, that's where he's staying,
Well, for some reason,
In
I
Rio de
which-
Janeiro.
which will make
Rio de
sense
Broken Arrow.
later on as we progress into the movies. But
He's a big fan of Brazilian soccer?
you'll have to wait and see.
I hit it on the head. So goes there, and he's gonna kill himself, and then Bella saves him, right? And then we have the whole thing with the Volturi, and who is this lovely actor that is talking to her? It's something Sheen, right?
Michael Sheen?
Michael Sheen. He
Were you surprised?
Definitely not Charlie Sheen.
definitely not Charlie.
Also, Dakota Fanning, just like, hey, what's
Yellow sports car, not the black Mercedes.
That could be anything.
Uh-huh.
Dean's
that could be
being
color
held
shot.
accountable.
He
Never.
can never.
But yeah,
he can
Dakota
never.
Fanning just shows up, and you're like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I am just so happy because the gentleman Michael Sheen here is doing wonderful work as this head of the Vampire Council.
Yeah.
He is hilarious.
Also,
It's
Jamie
wonderful.
Campbell Bower just like chilling in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Vecna, just like,
Just vibing.
yeah.
What's his name from Sweeney Todd?
Yeah, Anthony.
Johnny
you go.
Depp's in this?
Jamie Campbell Bower.
But yeah, I'm just like enjoying the fuck out of this Vampire Council because I really do feel like they were like, so how over the top can we go here?
Marcus
and they
is
were
the best
like,
one.
go for it.
It's full Dracula, like
Mhm.
just yeah.
Marcus just wants to die, and it's like, no, you're on the council, so you can't. So he's just like, thank you for visiting the council. And then he just kind of collapses back into his chair.
He's like, I'm so they turned me when I was 96. It's so fucking bad.
He's like, I've been alive for 1,000 years, and I've wanted to be dead since then, and my brothers just
The
won't let me
arthritis,
die.
the joint pain. It's
It
just-
hurts so much.
That must be like the worst if you get like turned into a vampire and you're just like
old.
you get turned into a vampire when you're old. Could you imagine you're turned into a vampire but you still have like a kidney stone and you're just like, I have an eternal kidney stone
Imagine
for all of time.
being a little kid and being like, I'm too short for everything. I can't go anywhere alone. Nobody
can't
takes
talk.
me seriously.
There's a
Yeah.
great vampire movie that you need to watch called Near Dark, and they go into that. Like that's
Believe me, there's still things that you need to see.
yeah, but Near Dark, you know, is Catherine Bigelow. It's action. It's fun. There's Western vibe.
But believe me, there's still things you need to see.
Oh, Lord. But yeah, so they have. This is where we get the whole like, you know, oh Bella, there's something special about you. We should kill you because you're too special. And then that's when they finally agree. We'll turn Bella into a vampire.
No, they
It's
don't want to
fine.
kill her. They want to kill Edward.
I thought they wanted to kill her because they couldn't use her power, or because they couldn't use their powers on her. I thought that was a thing.
Well, they want to kill Edward because they're pissed off at him for, not joining the council.
And also revealing secrets to mortals.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, we're going to kill you, and then we're going to kill your girlfriend, and we'll probably kill your sister, or we'll keep your sister.
She's
they,
nice.
Because they want Alice. That's been a thing where they want
She
her
has
for
some-
her abilities.
Yeah.
What is like Edward's super secret vampire power? Is it like mind
he can
reading?
read minds.
He can read minds.
He's also super fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alice can like see the future, but sometimes it changes. Like
It's blocked
depending-
because of Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the
or sometimes
werewolf,
like
yeah.
people can change their minds. Like
change their fate.
Yeah.
yeah.
So she's like, I can see the future, but really, it's like I'm really good at guessing what people are gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes when they change their mind, it fucks up.
What about Rosalie and Emmett? Like I don't remember their powers. Is Emmett just like super strong?
Super strong, and then Rosalie is her. What did Edward say? Her tenacity.
Tenacity. So
Or her-
she's just
She's
a
that
strong,
bitch.
Yes.
She is that bitch.
Yes.
What is your superpower? I'm that bitch.
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
Rosalie's the only one who votes no to
Yeah.
change Bella.
Which isn't surprising.
No, not surprising, but like when you hear her reasoning, you're like, oh, Rosalie's actually like kind of like she's a good heart, even though she's like has a hard exterior. But then everybody just undermines her, and you're like, maybe she is just.
And spoiler for you, we will get Rosalie's backstory in Eclipse, so you'll see what happens and why she is the way that she is.
Rosalie
What's-
has like a corpse bride backstory.
It is awesome. It is one of the best sequences of the
But I
Eclipse.
cannot like wait. I want to
Follow up. What is Carlisle's fucking super secret vampire tech? Is he just like
I
nice?
think-
a healer?
His empathy, I think.
For God's sakes, are you serious? What is
Well, I
your
mean-
super secret power? I cry at the end of Homeward
It
Bound.
sounds.
So do you.
So?
It sounds like in like grade school when they're like, my power is kindness.
Oh God.
Rosalie's power is literally, are you serious? What the
Pig-headedness?
hell?
Please tell me.
Okay,
in the
this
wiki,
could-
it
I
says
don't know.
being dat bitch. Not that, dat, with D-A-T.
Dat
Being
bitch.
dat bitch.
Not your regular bitch. Dat
Yes.
bitch. It says basic vampire abilities, self-control, and enhanced beauty. What is she a cosmetician? What does that mean?
She has enhanced beauty. Oh, so she was turned after makeup was invented, so she looks pretty good. Okay, cool.
What is her power though? Like, is that for real?
Yeah, I mean that's what I got from the book, where it was just that's her power.
Okay.
She's pretty.
She's beautiful.
Oh God.
I'm actually looking this up, you guys, for like all the Cullen members, because also like Esme. What
It's
is
her caring.
Oh
God, these
my
vampire
God.
powers
Our
are
Care
so
Bears.
fucking
Yes.
lame.
Edward has telepathy. Bella, I can't tell you about Bella.
Well, yeah, no.
Fine.
Alice has subjective precognition. Esme has no special power, but is known for her ability to love passionately.
Oh, that's why Carlisle picked her up. It's like, guys, like this one will break your dick. All right, Jesus Christ, man.
Jasper has pathokinesis.
Yeah, he can control emotions.
Emmett, superior strength.
I like how Jasper can control emotions,
Except
but
his
has
own?
no fucking chill.
Yes.
So Jill, Jasper's power is roofies on command. I'm starting to feel like Carlisle has a thing he's looking for. He's like, you can read her mind, right? All right, cool. Jasper, ease her up for me. You, a lovey one, get in there, get in there. Carlisle's building his own little weird Manson family up in the mountains.
totally. It's a cult.
It's a cult. What's their last name again?
Cullen.
Cult. It's right there. in the name.
Coven. It's close to cult and coven.
Coven, yeah.
It's
Coven.
happening.
Coven.
All right.
I was like, COVID?
Y'all, you guys, COVID-19. That's all I got for like Cullen family powers.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
I am like, surfing the World Wide Web here, and there's not much.
Okay, well, I guess we'll get to the end. They're gonna change Bella into a vampire, but they're gonna
That's-
wait till she's 18.
Yeah, they make an agreement, and it's mostly Alice, because Alice is the one that's seen Bella's future. It's hinted at it in the first Twilight movie, and we finally see, that Bella will be turned into a vampire, and it's enough for the Volturi to allow them to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And it's agreed that she'll do it in the near future, not when she's 18, but that's what Bella wants. She wants it,
Because she doesn't want to be too old.
She
for
doesn't
her-
want to be older than Edward.
for her 109-year-old boyfriend.
Totally.
So they let them go in peace. They come back home, and that's when we have the vote. Do you want me to join your family? Do you not want me to join your family?
Y'all, I just found a feminist
Oh, God.
critique of the Cullen family powers, just to completely
To go away from it, where all the
Yeah.
women have like dumb powers, or what?
Yeah, like it literally says here, like Esme Cullen is the family's powerless motherly figure. Like, what does this have to say about the patriarchy, etc. But also just okay, you guys. I just want to be done with this. Sorry, Rosalie. Her power is angelic beauty. Beyond that of a typical vampire, works in her favor during negotiations or when she wants to convince people to do something her way.
But we never see her doing that.
Also,
No,
it's
we
like
see her just being horrible.
also like angelic beauty, and I'm like, in the movie, I couldn't pick that bitch out of a lineup.
Yeah, I have to say that Nikki, what's her name?
Reed.
Nikki Reed, like being cast for this role, I was like, really? Like,
I know, I didn't see Rosalie.
it's not at all, but it's because she's friends with Catherine Hardwicke. Like, she was in 13.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, but also, what the hell? And then Nikki Reed is actually married to,
Ian Somerhalder, who
Who
is
is-
Damon from the Vampire Diaries.
there you go, vampire marriage in real life.
Interesting.
Anyway, sorry to completely digress.
No worries. So
I mean, I'm rewatching the Vampire Diaries right now.
Okay.
Oh God. So they get back. I guess Edward's like, we'll turn you. It'll be fine. And he's like, let's wait until you're old enough to rent a car, and then we'll turn you into a vampire. And she's like, 18 or nothing, and he's like, fuck it, at least 21 so you won't get carded for the rest of your life.
No,
Like, it's really rough, honey.
You can see that, he's trying to, like, give her those, like, milestones, hey, wait until after your 21st, experience this, experience that. And she's like, no, I'm good, fam. She's like, you're 17, I'm 18, we're stopping right here.
But I think also the reason why he's trying to give her the time is because, like, he tells her at the end, like, it's because he's going to ask her to marry him.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's there. The
And
movie
then she's
cuts
like,
to black.
the movie ends on Bella gasping.
And there were audible gasps in the theater when we watched it. I was just like, if you read the book, you would have known.
know what happens.
I do think it's very funny that the
honeymoon
movie...
dude is...
Just spoilers. Spoilers.
So I just think it's funny that that's how this movie ends is, Bella, will you marry me? Cut to black. Credits roll. And I'm like, this movie's 2 fucking hours long, and that's how we're ending it. All right, cool, whatever. I can guess what the next movie's gonna open with. But yeah, that was New Moon. Thoughts, opinions?
Well, what are your thoughts? Because
It's always better than the first one. I can tell you that damn much. I don't. I would say that these movies are not bad. Like, I wouldn't call that, like, I've seen worse movies, I would say. But I'd say New Moon's actually, like, yeah, no, I understand it. I'm really starting to get why these were so fucking popular, and why they were kind of these little cultural touchstone moments for, like, the teenage girl audience of or the late 2000s. I can kind of see where it's getting at.
mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's just kind of weird because I also don't think these are perfect objects by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I'd be very interested if they remade these movies, honestly. Like, I'd be very interested to see what they would look like.
Man.
With,
I
like, the
can't.
benefit of hindsight, but I don't know if they're popular anymore, so...
I mean, I know they're making a new adaptation on Netflix, but it's an animated series. And I'm just like, no. Like, just leave...
Animated?
Yeah, I'm like, just leave it alone. It's like, we have the movies if you want to recycle through these 10, 20 years from now.
You know what? I could see these movies being redone in, like, decades.
Yeah.
But... And, like, they could be really surprisingly good. I mean, I want, like, a really dark, like, Tim Burton-y, like, romantic, like, intensely emo vibe.
You want, like, Del Toro to just, like, overproduce a set of these?
But then it wouldn't be true to the book. Like, honestly, like, the vibe that you feel in New Moon is, like, I feel is pretty true to the book.
Yeah.
Like, it really is how it feels to read it.
Mm-hmm. Because they're very much like, it's weird, because they're almost like slice of life stories of this teenage girl, and the supernatural stuff around it is almost really secondary to her just emotional turmoil about, like, being a teenage girl and not knowing how to, like, oh no,
navigate love and heartbreak.
Love and heartbreak, yeah.
Because that's who it's for. I mean, again, like, Bella is just, why is Bella kind of, she's not as crappy in this movie as in Twilight.
Yeah.
But, it's because, she's just supposed to be that, like, blank canvas that the reader or viewer projects herself onto, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I guess I'm also just curious, like, I think we talked about this before we started, like, this and the Harry Potter in the room, like, are these books still, like, popular in being read and have the same cultural touchstone as they did in, like, the 2000s?
I mean, we send each other a lot of Twilight reels.
Yes,
so people...
but you were also, like in the trenches on release night for these movies.
The thing, I think Harry Potter has aged better than Twilight.
Yeah. And I mean, they're even redoing Harry Potter.
Really?
Yeah, they're doing it, I think, through Max.
It's going to be like a TV series kind of thing?
Yeah, so they're going back to Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and they're casting children, and it's like, okay, so it's like Harry Potter hasn't been out of the loop for that long that we're
Crazy.
already going back.
Well, it's been over a decade. It's been over
Yeah,
a
but
decade and some
not,
change since
like-
the OG series.
But I mean, not like
Still
that long. You
feels-
know, it's like
Yeah.
our main actors are still acting. They're still fairly young. This is like what?
Fairly
Yeah,
young,
give
I
it
think.
a good like 30 years. I mean, for God's sake.
Yeah, you know, something like that. Not, you know, we had the original series and now let's try it again. Like, no.
I mean, like, I see what you're getting at, but it's also a thing where it's like I guess Harry Potter's like different because Harry Potter is almost like this, like, it's So I guess to put it in like context, like Harry Potter on release was like as big as Star Wars was in the fucking
Yeah.
70s. Like
Mhm.
like if you were a kid, everyone saw the Harry Potter movies. They were like huge cultural touchstone moments.
Mm-hmm.
The Twilight series kind of comes off like right after that, and it's almost a thing where I don't know if they are that big cultural touchstones moments. That's almost why I think you could remake them
Mm-hmm.
and update them or change them, just because it's like I think people love the franchise and enjoy the movies, but I don't think the movies are perfect objects.
No.
Because the power of the Harry Potter movies is the fact that we followed the actors literally across a decade of them aging and embodying those characters.
And I mean, with this, you needed to rush because you need to.
Because they're making these movies like a fucking one a
Yeah,
year,
characters
right?
who aren't aging.
The characters aren't aging, so it's like you
Yeah.
got to kind of beat the curve where it's just, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you're starting to look a little bit on the older side. We can't have that. We
Mhm.
got to rush.
I need to know which one of their three leads starts actually looking like a grown-ass adult by the end of this franchise. Because I know they're all like at least 20-something, right? When they're making even the first movie.
I mean, Jacob he ages, right?
He ages, but I
Yeah.
mean, he's also alive, so
Mm.
it's like it works. Kristen Stewart, I think she was 18 when she made Twilight. I think Robert was in his early 20s, 21, 22. So it's like
I'm going to find out Taylor Lautner was like 16 when he did the first movie.
probably.
Fucking Christ.
So it's like, you know, yeah, you can't really space them out or let time go by because you need them to stay. And I mean, stuff happens relatively quick in this universe.
That was something I wasn't really sure about the timeline. Like, where does New Moon take place after Twilight? Is it like literally like the next week, the next year, the next month?
I think it's like months later.
Okay. Like, is it like Twilight is the end of her junior year and New Moon is like her senior year? Is that how it
Mhm.
is?
Yeah, I think it's just like a summer's past.
Hmm.
Okay. And then, what is it? October, November, winter,
See,
fall.
time has passed.
Yeah.
So we're
Few
we're,
months.
we're moving along. Yeah.
Okay, so, but yeah, I think it's just like this movie is a very interesting, because this is where it becomes the franchise, right? This is where it's like, okay, now we're gonna make multiple movies. We know these movies can be successful. Everyone's on board. It's a very interesting movie in that context.
I mean,
for me.
I think when the money rolled in from opening night, they were like, yeah, we could turn this into something.
Mhm.
So
I mean, this had fucking Burger King toys. So
it did. I did try looking for my
Gosh.
Burger King stuff. I couldn't find it. It's boxed up.
Wow.
Here's the-
am
Here's the best part. It wasn't
Surprised.
like action figures. It was like hacky sacks and like little sticker books, I think. I don't think you could get
No,
an
it
Edward
wasn't.
action
It
figure.
wasn't toys. No, it
I
was
mean,
like
'cause this is like not geared towards children.
no, but
I
they had
mean,
like a crown that had like the characters on
Oh my
it.
gosh.
The cups.
The cups. I think I still have the cup. One of the box meals had like some of the artwork from New Moon on it. I still have that somewhere. But they were also giving away film cells.
Becky is obsessed with Twilight.
So
everyone.
I have the film cell
says
of,
Dean with his journal in front of him, filled with.
to the brim.
Yes, I treat every movie equally. All right, Citizen Kane to Twilight, they are all equal in my book. Until with my note taking
Burger
and
King
research.
gave out film cells.
Yeah,
I have one of the dream sequence.
see
So
that's.
I got to go through my stuff and find it because, yeah.
I just think it's so weird because it's like these were like Yasmin, like you're saying, these movies were not. They weren't aimed for the like Happy Meal crowd, like the toys. They were
No.
aimed for like teenage girls
Yeah,
and
12
like
and up, I'd say.
teenage girls and like what is it, like young
Adults.
adults, or like maybe even like girls in like their early to mid 20s, right? That was really that age range of like you're either like 13 to like 25 female. That is like the age
Yeah.
range for this, not the Happy Meal crowd. but it's like Hollywood didn't know what to do with this.
It's a much, again, like going back to Harry Potter, it's a much smaller demographic than Harry Potter, which was like geared towards like, yes, children, but adults came to love it, and then the children who loved it grew up with it,
Yeah.
like we're saying. So I mean, from the beginning, it wasn't set to be like as universal and as like long lasting.
Yeah, I just think it's very. I find this I find this franchise fascinating because it's almost a franchise in spite of itself. Because any other franchise, like big box office franchise that you can think of, is like, we're gonna have toys, we're gonna have this, we're gonna have coloring books. And Twilight is so like foreign to that concept because it's like,
I mean, it had a lot of merch. I mean, it was big at Hot Topic. I mean, like,
yes, it was the Hot Topic.
They released
franchise.
like a new jewelry box for every movie. So I have like the jewelry box from Twilight and New Moon, and after that, I didn't, go after it. Once we get to the later movies, like Breaking Dawn, then the merchandising really got weird, and we got like, they had a deal with, what was it, Conair, the hair product. So there was like a Breaking Dawn hair dryer. There were brushes.
Oh my God.
It was a wild time.
Yeah, because this is
I don't have any of those, by the way.
Thank God. Because this is a franchise in spite of itself. It's almost fascinating. They had no idea how to market it. They had a built-in audience that were loyal to the bone, but they were like, we cannot grow the audience because there's nothing here to franchise. There's nothing here to like, we can't sell like toys of this.
It's like we have to sell shirts, posters, it's like
they're like, we have the Hot Topic crowd.
Yeah.
We can sell to the Hot Topic crowd, but that's like it. This isn't going into Walmart and Target, and we're not going to get grandma.
Well,
and
that's
the
when we started
grandkids.
getting, the stuff for Breaking Down the hair stuff. Those were like Walmart exclusives. You had to go to Walmart to get stuff.
I'm not
They were
sure
so
if
trying.
you don't have those, Becky. I'm imagining you
No,
like sitting at your boudoir, like
At my boudoir.
at your
okay.
vanity, at your vanity, like combing out your beautiful hair, like with a Breaking Dawn brush, and like in like a crimson robe, just like full vampire.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no.
Vampiress.
No, once we hit Eclipse, that's when I was kind of like, I'm kind of done with getting the T-shirts and getting.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the artwork changed so much for Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2. It's just kind of like, it doesn't feel the same. It's like, it doesn't feel right.
I guess that's a question leading into next week. Does this franchise actually drop off in terms of, like, drop off with the next movies?
No.
No?
No, Eclipse is one of the best stories in the book. Or in the series.
Okay.
Eclipse, yeah, I do remember that, but I feel like Breaking Dawn, you felt like there was a difference, like there was a change. I don't know. I felt that way because there was a pause, like there was a, break between those first 3 books and then Breaking Dawn coming out.
Because Breaking Dawn is like basically 2 books in one.
Okay, I question, is Breaking Dawn the only book written after the film started coming out?
I think so.
I'm trying to remember if Eclipse came out.
Because that would explain a
No.
lot.
I think that the first 3 were already like solidly, published and everything before the first Twilight movie came out.
Yeah, because
that's
this
what
one
I
is
remember.
2006. In this book, it's printed 2006. So I'm going to guess maybe 2008 is when Eclipse came out.
I feel like Eclipse came out like right before Twilight came out. And then we had this this period where we were waiting for Breaking Dawn. And I remember actually when Breaking Dawn was published, like my friends went and like got it immediately and read it.
August 2007.
Okay, so Eclipse was out.
It was out well before Twilight came out in 2008.
Okay.
And then I'll look
But
up
yeah, Breaking Dawn, I feel like we had to wait on it. And I remember just not caring as much. I remember like really like
Breaking
taking
Dawn
my
came
time.
out 2008, August. So it came out before Twilight in November.
Really?
So the whole book franchise was out and released when the movie started? That's interesting.
I guess so. I just feel like there was such a big break for some reason. Maybe it was just the time at which I was reading it.
Well, you were also at Hogwarts when some books were released, so that might have been why.
No, she was still here.
No.
Oh, okay.
I was a sophomore in high school.
Oh, so you were still in the land of freedom. I see. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. It's again, I have no like context of this other than the culture of when these movies were coming out, because what is it, '08? I would have been able to go to the movies and shit on my own by that point.
You were very much alive in '08.
Yeah, exactly. So like I understand the cultural context
Gosh,
of like
I always
the
forget
movie
Dean
coming
is
out.
younger.
Yeah.
A little, just a hair. But yeah, it's a thing where like I understand the cultural context of this coming out, but I don't understand the actual culture of Twilight, the franchise, the movies, the books, or whatever. So it's very weird to me, but I digress, because next week we are going to talk more about these movies.
Yeah, next week we're going to talk about the third installment, Eclipse. And that might be a little bit of a special episode. We're going to figure some things out, so I'm not going to say anything yet.
Oh my. I'm excited.
Should I gasp like Bella?
We didn't have to pay her to do that, guys.
No. But yeah, if you wanted to see that episode or see any of our other episodes, where can they go?
If you want to listen to us on a different platform than you currently are, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube.
You can go to our YouTube channel, The Film Vault. That is The Film Vault on YouTube, because the film club was taken.
Yeah.
And you can like, comment, and subscribe there. And honestly, look at our giant back catalog of video episodes. But if you wanted to follow us on social media, you can go to
The Film Club Podcast on Instagram, where we post daily stories, upcoming episodes, and random adventures we go on.
But if you want to follow our guest,
She doesn't want anyone
Don't
to follow
follow me. Leave me alone.
she only comes here to talk about
I
Twilight.
love you, but leave me alone, Jacob.
We're just friends.
I know. Yeah. No, for real though. It's great. Always love coming on this.
And with that,
We'll see you next week at the Film Club.
have a good week, everybody. Oh, okay, that's it. You're not going to say goodbye? I see how it is. Cool. All right. We're good.
I said goodbye. Kind of. I said don't follow me.
Don't